thought I should go over the Python program that I'll be using to pull my serial port on the Linux side. First line I have is the shebang line. It's what lets Linux know what interpreter I'm using for this program, which would be the Python interpreter. And after that, I have a number of imports. Serial communication, OS, so I'll be using some system commands. Time I won't be using. Parallel, so I'll be creating a parallel object to access the serial port, or parallel port, excuse me. And RE, regular expressions, which we'll see here in a minute. Next, got some global variables, ANS, and see ANS is equal to an empty space, and the global variable has to be assigned a value, or the program will complain and throw an error. Same SER equal to 0, which is a global variable declared down here in its serial function. And next, PP will be our parallel object, and then we're down here into our init serial function. And again, SCR is declared global. Then SCR is made a serial object. Now it's a serial object, I can access the class functions in the serial class. So .baud rate I can make equal to 9600. .port equal to the port I'm using to communicate with my Windows XP and my VirtualBox. And .timeout function I'm setting to 0 so my program won't hang. And then lastly, got serial ser.open, just opening my serial port. And if ser.isOpen, just see if the serial port is open, go ahead and print open, and then my the name of my serial port. Okay, now that we're out of that function and we're into inits, we're calling init.serial to initialize everything. Next line we have ser.write, and this sequence of characters here is a ANSI escape sequence. And basically this is being sent out serial port to hyperterminal to tell it to clear its screen. And the next write is again being sent out to a hyperterminal, tell it to save its cursor position. And we have another write to the serial port, and this escape sequence, ANSI escape sequence, is just to change text color in this string right here, and this will be printed out on the hyperterminal screen. Alright, now we're setting line variable equal to an empty array, comp equal to nothing. Alright, then we'll be jumping down into our while loop, where we'll be continually polling the serial port. Alright, in the for loop here, I have the variable C equaling whatever keystroke is being read into it by scr.read, and C will hold that value, and then it will be appended to the line array. So every keystroke that comes in will be assigned to C and then placed into the line array. And this will continue until it sees a return carriage. When that return carriage, when it sees that, it'll go ahead and it will join all the individual characters in that line array together with a, well, it's not a space, it's like a no space, and I'll assign it to ANS. ANS will basically look like a string. And next line is the OS system will clear the screen. And I'll go ahead and print open my serial port name. And I'll hit received the what was typed in that hyperterminal, and it will print out in parentheses COMP, which is just an empty string right now, so nothing will appear there. And then I'll go ahead and make a line equal to an empty array again, and we'll break. Next line, match will equal a regular expression search, which means it'll equal any the first occurrence of any string that matches what I have right here, which is an asterisk, and the backslash denotes that it's only an asterisk, not a multiplication sign. And here we have parentheses. Anything in these parentheses is group 1. And what I have here is \w asterisk, and that means, what that means is a word character, and the asterisk means basically any number of word characters that is typed in. And after that we have \, which again means just the pound sign. You know, no symbol, nothing else. And that'll be compared to ANS. Alright, and if match equals none, which basically means if there were no delimiters, no asterisk, and no pound sign, then it's going to say, okay, it's a no match, and I'll continue and just jump right back up to the top of the while loop, and we'll go through it again until we get a valid match, which is something that has the delimiters in there, the asterisk and the pound sign. Alright, once we get past that, it's going to get down to the first, well, this sequence of if-elif statements. And what it's going to do is, okay, here we go. It's going to say if match.group1. Remember, group 1 is whatever's between these parentheses, you know, excluding the delimiters. No asterisk, no pound sign, is what's between it. And if that what's between there equals out1, then our parallel object is going to set data 1, bit 1 out of parallel port, which equates to LED 1, and COMP will equal match. Next, elif, same thing. It'll look at group 1. If group 1 equals out 2, it's going to set that parallel object binary 2 will be output, which will light up an output for LED number 2, and it will be COMP will be set for match. And the same thing happens here for out 3, out 4, out 5, out 6, out 7, out 8, till we get down here to all. And if that group 1 matches all, it'll set everything to on, so all the LEDs will be turned on. And same thing here with none. If it equals none, they'll all be turned off. Now, next line we have OS system clear. I'm just going to clear the screen in my terminal. The next line would be a write to the serial port telling hyperterminal to clear its screen. Next line telling hyperterminal to save its cursor position. And the next write to the serial port will tell hyperterminal to display this string of text with this color, with this the color that this escape sequence tells it to display it as, which I think it's blue. Alright, and after that, in my terminal, it'll print open. The terminal name of my terminal, there's a serial port. Then I'll print received is match group 0, and match group 0 simply means if whatever was printed or typed in out one, including the delimiters, asterisk and £, and that's what will be displayed there. And once you get past here, and COMP will be set to match, and it'll show match there. ANS will equal empty string again, and then after all that, if they continue to enter commands in hyperterminal, we just jump right back up to top of the while loop, and we do the whole thing all over again until the program is closed, and then we're all done. And that's it.